Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. Now on today's video, I can't get out of the office today. I look like I'm playing, I'm actually not. I've got a ton of paperwork upstairs to do. All this commercial work that is starting to come in and all the stuff that we're trying to get, all our accreditations, is swallowing a ton of time. So I can't go out on site today and film, but James is going over to Hampstead today. He's got a fuseboard upgrade to go and do. So he's going to walk you through that with him. And then once he's done, he's come back here. All of you casted your votes on the moustache, and apparently Hulk Hogan is not the look to be going for, and apparently Tom Selleck is the preferred opinion. So later on, when he comes back, we're going to be shaving this off. We're going to be going back to the Tom Selleck style of moustaches. Beyond that, sit back, relax, beer, crisps and peanuts, and enjoy the show.
You fat bastard. You wait till I ain't pushing off there. Oh, we're recording? Oh, yeah, hey guys, right, ignore that. Cameraman will cut that out, hopefully. Let me take you out to the job. We got a nice fuse board to put in today. We got a kitchen to wire up and a few other bits as part of a rewire. So Jay's gonna be in the kitchen, I'm gonna be doing the fuse board. You're gonna be stuck with me and I'm gonna show you how I get around doing the fuse board and the best way to do it and how to get it neat and pucker. So see you up there. Right, so we're upstairs now. My job today is installing the fuse board. It's almost a full rewire as bar the lighting circuit for several reasons, but we won't get into. So I'm going to take you through exactly what I do. I like changing boards and I enjoy doing it because I can get them all neat, and that's the whole reason I like being an electrician. Mainly just take pride in my work, and it's something you're going to look at and be like, yes. So I'm going to show you how I do it and how important prep work is. So let's jump into it and we'll get back in a minute. Alright, so just to quickly show you what I've got at the moment. I've put up my trunk in, so I had my cables coming down here, but the problem was I had two conduit pipes coming down for the old lighting circuits and some of the old cables. So my best option was trunking down the side, then obviously trunking cross, and my board's going to sit here. So I've got my cables to this point now. So what I'll do is strip all of these back ready in the trunking. So then all I got to do is just drop them into the board. The most important thing is you don't want to be crossing cables over or anything like that when the board's up. So even if you've got all your cables out ready, so like the cooker first, then your ring main or whatever, get all your cables, strip them back to where they're going to drop in. And then when they're all stripped, you're not tangling, because that's the worst thing, is dragging cables across other cables. So I'll show you what I'm going to do now when I strip them back, how far I strip them back, and then we'll see how nice it looks before the board's even up. Just only a quick one before I strip all of these. I've cut out my section in the board, cut out my section in the trunking. Just a quick tip, you want to make sure the metal is bigger than the trunking hole. So the cable's going to hit the plastic on the trunking before the metal. That's a quick tip I learned from my old supervisor. So your cables are never going to hit the metal, it's impossible. But it's always good, no matter what, just to put a bit of grommet strip or whatever on it. So when the cables drop in, you know, it's going to be no damage to the insulation. And yeah, so time to strip the cables. Right, so if you're doing a lot of stripping like this with a lot of twin and earths, tools like this are so good and handy. Because all you got to do is just chuck it in, like so, and then all you got to do is then pull it off. Obviously you do all that up the cable, but it's so much better than pulling on the earth and whatever. So it's worth a good buy, a tool like that. Right, obviously we know Tom doesn't like ring mains. So Tom, if you are watching, I've installed a ring main in the kitchen. So please don't shout at me. So you might remember me talking about it in the last video, about ordering like one thing and getting it delivered by like Uber or whatever. Or someone mentioned in the comments you can Screwfix actually do it for like a £5, which I didn't realise. So maybe in the next video or the next couple of videos I may give it a try and just see how efficient it is and how much time it does save. Carrying that on as well, the cameraman just pointed out that they also give a guarantee that it'll be there within the hour. So if that's true, that's a game changer. Right, so I've stripped all my cables back now. So what my next protocol is going to be is getting them in place in order where they're going to go in the board. So obviously we always do biggest to smallest. So I'll dress all these in and then sleeve all my earths up, and then we'll start dropping some stuff in and show you what I'm going to do. Right, so I'm getting the cables in the board now. I've obviously got everything sleeved up, etc. So the way I work is right to left, only because my cables are coming in from the left, so I'd rather work kind of like backwards, if that makes sense, so I can get it neat as I'm going along. So I'll get all my earths in now, loop all them in nicely, and then we'll start with the neutrals and lives then. So most of you probably know this, but on a single core cable, I just like to bend it over, double it over like so. Just gives it that extra bite in the board, and sometimes, I don't know if you've ever seen it on like EICRs and all, if someone screwed the cable too tight, it just snaps. So it's always good, just good practice to double it over. I know it probably seems like I'm giving you a lot of tips, but I may as well give them all and you can take what you need from it. But these screwdrivers, I don't know if you can zoom in closely and see, they're MCB screwdrivers, just basically for boards. Obviously I'll talk all these up later, etc. But just for now, these are great because they sit in the grooves on the screws perfectly, because ideally you shouldn't really be using flatheads or PZ2s, whatever. I know people do, but if you can, a couple of quid, just get a set of these. Tip 9001. Obviously when we got ring mains, again, most of you probably know, but just mark up one of the cables. So I just put like a couple of lines on them, just so I know which cable's what. So when it comes to labeling up your cables after your numbers, and for testing and all, it just makes life so much easier. So yeah. Right, got the earths in now. This is where I need to just stress how important prep is, because you need to get your cables in order. If you start just chucking lives and neutrals in at the same time with all your RCB, you're gonna just start getting messy, and it just won't be right. So just please prep. Just think 5 steps ahead constantly of what you're gonna do and what you need to get ready to do it. And it just makes life so much easier and quicker if you just prep it right. I can't stress how important prep is. Right, so got the main switch back in, SPD, etc. And obviously all the leads back in. I don't understand why manufacturers make it so, the cable so minging, or is it just my OCD? Because it's just like, it's not enough length on it. I wanted to try and get that straight all the way down here, but it's just not even enough length. Is there no way they can just make them a little bit bigger? Right, so I'm getting the RCBOs in. So I always leave the fly leads to last. So what I do, so you know which ones when it comes to the end, is just mark them up. So I'll put a little line on the, for obviously number 1 mark, and then obviously 2 marks the next one, till they're all in. And then at the end, you can obviously cut them and bootlace fell them. Yeah, some people will say you're not supposed to, but I'll do what I want. And it makes the board 10 times better, because otherwise you just have long, stupid leads floating about everywhere and it just looks crap. So I'm cutting them. Alright, so obviously for the newbies, the apprentices, whatever, most of us know that RCBOs obviously need the line of neutral. I've made the mistake before where thinking it's going in here, I've cut the neutral and it's too short. I'm like, oh shit. But obviously just always remember, if you're using RCBOs, line and neutral will go to the RCBO. Obviously for an MCB, like I said, it'll go to the neutral bar. So I've just dropped these 2 cables in now. Obviously you just line them up where the holes are. There is a good little tip where you can cut the cable, because I know as an apprentice I used to be worried if I cut it too short, but don't panic too much. Obviously you've got the trunk in where you can push the cable up a little bit, leave a bit of slack, but put it down the side of the RCBO, mark it, put your finger on it where you want to mark it, and then bring it back out, cut it, then obviously you've got your length for your cable. So yeah, it's a nice little tip for the apprentices out there. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I do the fly leads and how I get them neat. So I've labelled it up now, so this is RCBO 4. So I'll chuck it behind the cables I've already dressed in. Obviously clip it in. And obviously now it's marked, I just leave them all drooping down here. And say every 3 or so, I'll just chuck a zip tie to keep them in. And this way, obviously these cables will cover the cables going across. And then what we'll do is just dress all these in up here nicely, and it'll look really nice at the end then. But like I said, I'm gonna have to cut them, but it is what it is. So just a quick thing to talk about, and it's a little tip that I think people need to hear. It's like, when watching all the YouTubers, don't be intimidated by how much they know. All of that stuff comes with time. It's like, I used to watch Tom and a couple of the other guys and all, and think, oh, should I really know that? Should I know? It's not about that. As long as you want to learn and like you take pride in your work, enjoy what you do, and like you're willing to go into that book if you don't know something. Don't think that you should know everything, 'cause no one knows everything. And the guys on YouTube, like fair play to them, they're very good at what they do. So when you're watching it, it is a bit like, not disheartening, it's not a word, I don't really know what the word is, but sometimes I used to think like, oh, I should know a bit more, but maybe that's a good thing, so then I go out and want to learn more. So when you are watching these videos, just don't be intimidated by the guys on how much they know, because they're good at what they do and it is what it is. Not everyone's going to be at that level. So yeah, just learn what you can, ask questions, and like I say, take pride in your work. If you know you're doing something wrong, don't do it. As simple as that. And yeah, just work hard. And that's all I can say, really. All right, all the breakers, all the earths are connected. I just got these fly leads to do, but I'm going to quickly get these tails in before I get these fly leads in, because I want to see whether I want to go behind or in front, which we'll see in a minute. So I've drilled 2 holes up here. Obviously, there's going to be no eddy currents because it's plastic, but if it was metal, I'd make sure they're through the same hole. I want to put it in the trunking because I think it'll just look a bit neater than putting it in bore straight away. Then I'll have my earth coming just straight up into here, boom, straight up in. So yeah, I'll get these in, trunking lid on, that connected, and I'll show you how I do my fly leads. So got the lid on now. I've got my tails into the plastic trunking and connected using the tail clamp, which is wicked. I've said this about 5 times now. I am going to do the fly leads now, and I connect these up. But with the fly leads, I'll work left to right now, so I can kind of like gauge them each way, which you'll see what I mean now when I show you. So yeah, let's get to it. Right, so this is what I'm doing with the fly lead. So like I said, I'm working from left to right for my breaker, which obviously I labelled up earlier, and then I'll cut them to the length. So I usually go to the number, cut it there where obviously I want it, grab my bootlace ferrules, and then crimp it up. That is ready to go in, and as simple as that. Like I said, the reason I work left to right is because the cables land on top of each other from when you're pulling these through and behind, they land on top of each other, so it's just easier to work from obviously the top one than coming under from the bottom with the others. And I think that's the neatest way you're going to do it, to be honest. And then maybe a couple of ties or whatever just to even neat it up when it's finished. But I'll show you when it's done now, and then we're pretty much there, to be fair. So me and the camera guy have been reading some comments about Tom's moustache, all for a good cause, so make sure you go and donate if you can. I think everyone seems to be agreeing they needs to shave this bit off and just keep the moustache. I think it's the Tom Selleck look. So yeah, so make sure you go and keep liking our comments. We all have to see it. Obviously I didn't get the memo. That's why I'm like baby face at the minute. But maybe I'll start it 2 weeks late, who knows. But yeah, this Tom, you need to shave the sides. Alright, so last touch now to the board is numbers. Don't need them, no. I just prefer they just neaten up the board, and if I come back to test this now, it's just, I open that up, I know exactly which earth does what, I know exactly what neutral does what, and it just gives it that extra touch for the next person who comes in. And I'll also show you why I marked up the ring main in a minute. I've also done this on my fly leads now that's finished. So I haven't done this one before, to be honest. I've just tried it new and I'm quite happy with it. So I'll be doing that from now on. So yeah, time to label some of the cables up, and that's pretty much it. Then obviously I got to connect the tails in, but that's tomorrow's job now. I'm pretty much done for today. So alright, so I finished numbering up the board now, but I just wanted to show you what I do with the ring main. So I got 3 zeros. So like I said earlier, when I marked one of the cables of the ring mains, I'll just chuck a 0 on with it. So let me do it. Now, as you can see, I've labelled up the earth and one of the lives and one of the neutrals, and obviously that represents one of the cables. So when it comes to testing, you know exactly which one's which. So obviously you've only got singles coming in here, so you can't really tell. It's just nice for the next person to come in. So that's pretty much inside the board done now. Obviously I got to chuck the buzz bar in, which I can show you a little tip on actually. So we'll do that now. And that is it then. Obviously, like I said, I got to do these, but for inside here, yeah, sorted. Alright, this may seem a bit overkill. This is mainly for more of like 3-phase boards, but I like to do this so it's just easy to correspond. So all I'll do is just chuck a marker what number each RCBO is. So again, for testing, just makes life easier. You make sure you're going in the right RCBO. Yeah, so like I said, it's mainly for more 3-phase when you're counting down the breakers. Obviously, sometimes you get like a 54-way board and you're like 1, 2, 3. So if someone just writes something like that on it, you can just go right MCB I don't know, 25. So it just makes life easier for that next person. Again, I think that's what it's all about, just making life easier for the next person. So like my grandpa used to say, that next person could be you. So if I'm coming back to this now, I'm going to be like, happy days. I know exactly what's going on. Everything's labelled. The EICR is going to be a doddle, and you ain't opening, you ain't forcing the bloody cover back on and all that. Alright, so tip 50,962 of the day, and it's the last one now. So I think I seen this over at Arts, and I think Corey showed it, but I'll just show it on here as well. Most of you have probably seen it, but it's just checking your buzz bar with a mirror. Just for a couple of pounds, it's worth just getting one of these and just checking that it's clamped on right and the buzz bar hasn't gone behind the clamp. For the sake of what that just took me 10 seconds, and it can stop a fire, because that's the last thing we want. So I'm sure I got this off Amazon for literally about £2. So definitely go and buy one of them and check that every time you screw that in and take it out. So yeah.
Day 2.
Alright, so it's day 2 now. Me and Jay are back on this job. Jay's cracking on with some other bits. I'm still in this cupboard. So I've got this box in now with the tails, etc. and main earthing terminal in with the earth. So everything's connected. I can get power onto this board now, but typical, got to add a socket below the board now, so it's going to be an extra circuit in. So I'm just going to chuck that in by here. It's always handy to have a socket below the board anyway, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to have a bit of coke backs up into the knockouts by here. Obviously connect that up, and that's pretty much it. Obviously do the testing, and this job's pretty much there then. So yeah, quite happy how all this has turned out. So I'll show you a tip now. So it's basically, obviously we all know what these hard plastics are like, trying to fix. Absolute nightmare because they crack. So if you get a penny washer, it spreads the load and it stops it cracking. It's just so much better. For the sake of one or two penny washers, it's worth doing.
Now, in one of the last videos, you heard me talking about this tower. Now, this isn't going to work for some of the work that we've got coming up. We need a GRP tower, like a fiberglass tower. So if anybody knows where I can get one that's a used, like a good second-hand one, do me a favor and let me know. A couple of you were really kind and you actually sent me some links. There was one on eBay that went recently. Somebody actually sent me a link. I can't remember who it was. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I actually put a bid on it and I wasn't watching it, and I was outbid, and it was only like £1,000 it went for, and it was a beautiful tower. It was really nice. But if you know where I can get a hold of one, or if you've got one that you're not using or something and you want to sell it, hit me up, let me know, because we do need one. Now, James has just come back from the fuseboard upgrade you've just seen, and it is now time for me to shave off the moustache. Well, not the moustache actually, the Hulk Hogan look was the look I was hoping everybody was going to go for, but it would appear the Tom Selleck is, apparently that's more trendy, so we are going to remove the Hulk Hogan, and we're going to, there was actually talk of like a Hitler-tash, but I think that might be, I think that's a bit controversial. I don't really want to do that. So we're just going to go with the Tom Selleck. So yeah, I've got a little bowl of water here and my little shaver. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about there. The Tom Selleck. Right, it's Friday in the shop. Yeah, I'm trying to pull some enthusiasm together. We're all a bit tired. I need a haircut. You're getting your haircut this weekend, yeah? Haircut time. Schneider have delivered some stuff that's got to go on the racks. Thank you, Schneider. We do appreciate it. Got the new Metabow Hoover, actually. That turned up. So, got to give that a run for its money. And the wall chaser, we've got a house rewire which we're starting on Monday, so that is going to be in next Monday's content. So I'm looking forward to that because we've got a ton of we got it especially because that house has so much chasing there to do, and it's got the triple disc. So apparently, rumor has it, you don't have to use a breaker to chisel the wall out afterwards as you run up the wall. Yeah, as you run up the wall, it just leaves you a nice hollow chase to put a oval pipe in and put your conduit in and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be coming out on Monday. James is sorting his van again. We went karting the other night. Yeah, went karting the other night. It's good fun actually. It's really hard on your... Did your body hurt this morning?
Just tired.
Just tired. I'm tired. I think it was... Is everybody you tired as well? Are you tired?
No, I'm tired. My back's hurting on my spine.
Yeah.
On the seat.
I'm properly just really worn out. It's like we did 15 minutes of qualifiers, wasn't it? And then 35 minutes of racing. But that's like, you know, 50 minutes. And like running at like full speed and really heavy steering just properly takes it out of you. But I still want to go again. So we're going to try and set up a corporate... Yeah, I'm going to get a corporate account so we can just go and do it like every couple of weeks or something. So anyway, we're going to leave the video here because as you can see, my enthusiasm is not really shining through as strongly as it perhaps should. Thank you very much for watching. We do appreciate it. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you on Friday.
So I've just been speaking to the cameraman and he read some of the comments and he said, someone said, reset. And it just makes, yeah, I just cut that bit out, yeah. So, hello, tune the next bit, whatever, yeah, shag on, bro, woo. Long, stupid leads floating about everywhere and it just looks crap. So I'm cutting them. So we'll see how yeah, every bit of the end I mess up, but it is what it is. Right, so I don't know what I do a lot with my hands. Like I don't know why I keep doing that.
Whenever you're ready.
Hang on. And you can just read straight to it. I just don't even know what I'm chatting about anymore. It's now R5 and I'll try that again.
What you want to do again?
Yeah. You can cut kind of there, can you?
Yeah.
Now, James has just come back. Now, James has just come back from the fuseboard upgrade, which you saw. Very neat job. Not as good as I'd have done, obviously, but you know, won't split hairs. It's a bit mean to say that because that was a fucking neat job. Now, everybody, now, this shit. Can't Tom.
No, you can't do it.
When he comes back from that,
Let's go again. Let's go again, mate.
it's a good smooth fluid one as well.